Okay, hello and welcome to BIMobject Talks. This is week 10. My name is Matthew Jackson and I'm talking to you from Malmo. So it could be morning where you are or it could be evening. We've got people attending from all over the world. So thank you very much. And today, what is the topic? Today I'm talking single source of truth. If you're familiar with BIMobject, then hopefully you've heard us talk about this before. And if you're not, I'm going to explain what single source of truth is and why it's so important in the building information modeling process. But my first question to those who are attending today is a little poll. Out of the people that we have online, out of the people that are attending, are you an existing user of BIMobject? We did a session this morning in Europe and it was 2/3 were no's. 2/3 were new people. So let's have a look to see our afternoon session. Give you 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Thank you. 90% of you have polled. Okay, so it's the opposite this afternoon. I've got mostly existing users and 30% are new. So welcome to the new and hello again to the existing. So as you may or may not know, part of the single source of truth and part of one of the mantras here at BIMobject is I think we're moving further away from building information modeling and we're now moving into building information management. And one of the big key areas that we work in is how can we better assist you, our users and our clients to manage the information better. And part of that we think and strongly believe is single source of truth. So the single source of truth, what does it actually mean? It sounds like a wonderful fancy term, but what are its real meanings? Well, I'll tell you what it really means. It means that there's no copies, no duplicates, no alternative facts to the information which you get from BIMobject. It is all up to date and we have version control mechanisms and all sorts of awesome technology which enables us to have the single source of truth. This means that you can trust the information that you get from us. This information can be controlled and maintained and updated. So the single source of truth is exactly that. It is a way in which we as a platform, as a cloud platform, make sure that the information that you have access to, and even once you've downloaded it, has the ability to phone home, has the ability to speak to our system and go, hi guys, am I up to date? So how does that work? Well, basically we have the BIMobject Cloud. And the BIMobject Cloud, BIMobject.com, you go on to today. But you might access BIMobject in other ways. You might access objects from BIMobject through social media. You might access them through product sites. So that's sites which are and files which are hosted by the manufacturers themselves and their own sites. You might get access to things through project sites and you might gain access to information through public channels. But how on earth do we make sure that there are no duplicates, no copies? How do we make sure that things are up to date? Well, our workflow at BIMobject, and this is being done today and has been done since the beginning of BIMobject, is we have an owner of an object, an owner of a page. And in the background, the owner can add, modify the geometry, classifications, general data, property sets, or even archive a product. I mean, not all products last forever. Manufacturers do decide to send a product to end of life. We then push that information into the BIMobject servers, the BIMobject platform, and that then delivers it onto the BIMobject Cloud through social media, project sites, product sites, and public channels simultaneously. It is an instant delivery because we're not duplicating files and copying them from file server to file server. There's one file which lives on BIMobject, one existing most up-to-date file, and that is accessed by these people in these places. It's the other way around. We don't push information out. We have windows looking in to our cloud and it takes the information out. So it's single source, and that works also through the integration of BIM apps. This function is again simultaneously pushed into the BIM apps in exactly the same way. And this is because we have something which we call version control. We have a way in which we can update, make changes into the cloud, and the BIMobject users, you guys using the apps, and if you're not using the apps, use them today, guys. They're free. They are a fantastic way for you to use BIMobject. And if you want to know more about the apps, we have BIMobject Talks on the Revit app, ArchiCAD app, Vectorworks app, SketchUp app. We have all these videos telling you in 15 minutes how to use the apps, and it's really quick. Thoroughly advise you use it. So I'm going to show you a quick video which actually I filmed a little while ago, and this is just a demo model that I always use and I've built in Revit, and you can see I've got a load of objects on the screen right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the BIMobject app and I'm going to press update. So these objects are now communicating with the BIMobject Cloud, and they're going, hi guys, are we up to date? And we have mechanisms in which controls this. And then all of a sudden BIMobject goes, oh actually guys, no, 10 of your projects here, 10 of your objects are not up to date. And you get a report, and you can select or unselect an instance or all of these. And then you just press update select all products. And then that pushes the update through. And I haven't recorded the whole video all the way to the end. I've just stopped it there because then it just pushes the information through. And that's how we do it. It's that simple, guys. If you're using BIMobject.com, use the apps, press update. And we also push the information through even if you're getting your information from product sites. So what does that mean? Well, you can go to BIMobject.com, and at the moment I'm looking at Schneider Electric. And here I'm looking at Schneider's. I've got 24 products from one brand. They have had 75,000 downloads, which is fantastic for any brand. And I can see I've got a load of products here which I can download. So I'm on BIMobject.com and I can download them. I can download them through the apps, but I can also download them through the product sites. So you can see here the information is the same. I've got 24 product pages. It's the same ones in the same order with the same information. It's not a duplicate. It is a window or an iframe into our system, which then makes sure that you're always seeing the same information simultaneously. Doesn't matter where you are or where you're viewing the information from. At the moment, BIMobject are supplying about 250 content to about over 250 different apps and clouds and websites, all the single source of truth. You're downloading the same thing from wherever you're downloading it from. It doesn't matter if you're downloading ABC air conditioners from BIMobject.com, from the app, from the product site, from a channel, through Facebook. It doesn't matter. It is the same, and it has the same mechanisms, the same updating mechanisms through the apps inside the authoring softwares. So that's what we mean by the single source of truth, guys. It's a key part of what we do. And these manufacturers are some of just a selection of many, and this channel here, bimcomponents.com, is just a selection of one of the many different sites that we provide. We can't have copies. We can't, because there's too much risk involved that the information is out of date and the data is no good. We have to make sure that you as users have the most up-to-date information. And this is another huge advantage of using manufacturer or owner-specific content from a platform that's based in the cloud. It is one of the key parts of what we talk about. We always talk about having accurate geometry, accurate clearance zones, accurate connections, and accurate data. And the single source of truth is part of that. Not only should you be getting information from manufacturers or from content providers providing requirement objects, it needs to be kept up to date. And the only way to do that is through the single source of truth. So for those of you who answered no at the beginning, or even if you answered yes, this question, Will you continue to use and will you use BIMobject Cloud as your only or maybe one of your different content providers? For us, single source of truth is really key. And you can be honest. If you're going to answer no, I'd love to know why. I'd love to have constructive criticism on why. That's always great. Say no if you want to. Of course, I hope you don't. But if you want to, then of course, I'm happy to get the feedback. And that's great. Look, 93% of you say yes and 7% no. So, again, 7%, if you want to send me an email, webinar@BIMobject.com, or you want to write a comment in the questions, please do. I'm happy to answer those questions on why you still think no and what we can do better. So like I said, this was just a 15-minute presentation. So far, I've taken about 12 minutes. BIMobject Talks past sessions, go onto YouTube. We have a YouTube playlist, which is titled BIMobject Talks. We do these sessions every Tuesday, twice a day. And we kind of do like an app one week, and the next week we'll do a wider topic, and then we'll do another app, and then we'll do like how to search. I talked about a couple of weeks ago, when do you use BIM objects? When's the best time to use it in your workflow? And there's a survey after this. So again, if you want to ask us about what different topics you want us to talk about, then please do that. We have a session next week. My colleague Yasser is talking about BIM Supply. If you don't know what BIM Supply is, it's a fantastic new technology which is all about seeing objects in 3D, communicating through 3D spaces, interacting with models, making them explode, cutting sections, all in the cloud, all on BIMobject, on an iPad, on a Mac, on a PC. It's going to be a really cool session. So please do log on to Yasser's talk about connecting designers and manufacturers together and working together to produce better designs. It's going to be an awesome, awesome session. So now it's time for QA. Join our LinkedIn group. It's fantastic. Follow us on Twitter @BIMobject. Follow myself on Twitter @CAD4Mac. I used to work for Apple and in the CAD market, and I've kind of kept my Twitter handle as it is. Sign up for new ones. info.bimobject.com/webinars. You'll also get a survey after this as well once you leave, and please fill that in. But now is the time for questions. For those of you, of course, who want to disappear and carry on with your day, I hope you have an awesome rest of the day, an awesome rest of the week. So thank you very much for attending.